welcome back to part 2 of the VGA or VGA connectors. It's not raining today, so it's nice and bright in here. Hope you like the intro to the video. But anyway, I'm going to show you again how I remove them because day before yesterday's video went a bit rubbish, and now I'm getting through them quite quick. The big ones I showed you, I was doing them in literally about 10 seconds. The big, the ones that had these pink fronts on, the giant ones. I literally just snipped them across the back. And if you're doing quite close, you can rip them out within seconds. But anyway, what I use now, instead of using a chisel, I use a little flatted screwdriver because it seems to get into places easier. As you can see, you've got the little gap there. Stick the screwdriver in there. Hold it, hammer. Now it's in there. Kind of twist. As you can see, the pins come out. So you pull that. Get your side cutters and pull out whatever's left. If any's stuck in there and you can't reach, use the pins which you're poking at. You can just push from that side and then poke out the other end. So that's just junk plastic now. And then these pins are fully plated, not fully plated, so I don't need to cut them. They're half plated. So these can go into my, that's some pot of pins I've done so far from them. From the 1 kilo. Got loads of pins in there. As you can see, they're not amazing pins. They're loads worse than the, what they called, the Ethernet pins I showed on that, the videos the other day. The fully plated pins in here would be worth a lot more than the fully plated Ethernet pins. I'll see if I can find you one. Because they're plated on the inside as well as the outside. It's got double the area. There's one. Fully plated. You can't really see on the camera, they kind of look half plated on the camera, but it is fully plated. And in there, which you can't see, it has a hole, and it's plated inside the hole. But these fully plated ones, you need to get your side cutters and cut them in half. If you're using copper chloride, you do this anyway. So you have 2 pieces now. And then that can go into your bucket with copper chloride, because it'll be able to get to the base metals. If they're fully plated, the acid won't be able to reach the base metals. It probably still will, because the bottom bit's cut, but it'll take forever. It's easier just to cut them as you're going. It don't take any longer if it's just cut as you're going through. And it's going to speed up the processing the acid by a lot. These black ones and the blue ones seem to be way better than the average ones, I find. Some of them like them. I've got a new camera coming soon for my videos, so it won't be such bad quality. A lot of these look amazing on the end, you see all the gold plating, but when you remove it, it's actually only the tips. Where some of these black ones are amazing. I'll open the black one and just have a look. The same way to the back. Twist, and the back plastic comes off, little square, and once that's off you have all the pins on show, and then you can just literally just come off so easy, that, and the pins out. I've done the same thing with the Ethernets. It looked a little hard on the part 1, and then when I showed it on part 2 it was easy. Just takes me a little fiddling around with it to get used to it. But anyway, you get all the pins out. I'll show you these ones. I don't even know if these are the same VGA, but I put it in the pile. I think there's only 2 anyway. Take the metal off. I'm sure you know how to do. Just pull it with some side cutters. Metal. It will take about a month in the acid, if not more, maybe 2 months. Depends on the weather in your country. If you're in a cold country, it'll take forever. If you're in a warm country, it's a lot quicker. I noticed even gold fingers took a week in the winter here. Now it's the summer and it's hot, it's taken not even a day. So it does speed it up. Sometimes the metal doesn't want to come off. Have a bit of your chisel. There. It's a bit stiff, that piece. Anyway, as you can see now, that's what it looks like. All you need to do is get your pliers. Do some side cuts to this side. You just bend that back piece. Well, plastic's a bit brittle on these. This don't matter. But if anything, it made it easier, it being brittle. If it is brittle like this, you just pluck the little bits of plastic away. Make sure you do it over something like this, so it's sometimes the pins just fly everywhere. You don't want to be losing pins. See, some of these are just fiddly, but still easy to do, just takes time. All the plastic's off, and then just pull them out. Again, they're not amazing pins, but they're not bad. There's a lot of base metal on here, so the amount of acids it's going to use is more than the gold percentage on most pins. But I don't ever put in the cost of the acids on the videos because I use copper chloride. Once the acids fill up, which it holds about 500 grams of copper, I pay £1.20 per litre off hydrochloric acid to make the copper chloride, and because it holds 500 grams, which is worth about £1.20 in copper, maybe even more worth of copper, I can just get the copper back out, and the acid's pretty much free, the copper pays for it. That's the reason I like using copper chloride. It's because I use brick and mortar cleaner, concentrated. It's nice and cheap, and it's something like 22% hydrochloric acid, which is more than enough. Some people would laugh and say that's weak, but it gets the stuff done just as quick as stronger acids, because the metals don't try to protect themselves. I mean, it's faster. Like, it'll do gold fingers in less than a day on warm weather. Which to me is quick enough. Good thing about copper chloride, you can reuse as well. So once I'm finished doing the processing with these pins, that copper chloride will be put into a pot and be reused into another video, maybe with more pins. I'll show a video soon on see, easy again, same way as I showed earlier, hammering the part that had like the crack, and then you can just comes off. Once you hammer it in to get the little plastic piece out, you then just twist it like that and it pops up. If it doesn't pop up, you just go back in, hammer again because you're not far enough down. Pretty simple. once I'm done with this, I'll wash the pins. I wouldn't normally, but because it's going to be such a small amount of gold, I don't fancy mounting gold with little tiny bits of plastic and dust and things like that in once it's done. So I'd rather wash in to get all the dust off with water, put it into a pot, stick it into the acid, and once it's filtered it'll just be the gold foils. And then those gold foils I'll just mount, and it'll be around 12 to 18 karat gold, which I'm happy with. I'm not going to bother having it refined to pure because it's going to be less than a tenth of a gram, roughly less than a tenth of a gram, and it's not worth doing that. I'll just wait until I've got maybe 10-20 grams of gold until it's refined to pure. You don't need that much, like a gram's more than enough to refine, but I'd rather wait. I ain't done any of these ones yet. Weird looking. It's got like the things at the front and then it's kind of double sided. I don't even think if it's loosening this screw. Screwdriver. It's got a little hole for the screwdriver. And that's not loosening. I'll just get my larger side cutters. Stick it in between the two bits of metal and I'll just squeeze. And as you can see, it just comes off. So now we've got that. Got the metal we don't want, goes in the bin, and then we've got the centre part. Always look for these little cracks you see on the side. You can see there's a little crack, so clearly it's going to open there. Wherever there's a crack, that's the weak spot, easy to open up. And then we've got it open. Wow, these pins look amazing in here. That's the type I'd expect maybe 5 grams a kilo for. As you can see, it's fully plated. It's got loads of holes in here. It's like a pogo kind of style. It's not a pogo pin, but it's that kind of style. As you can see, there's a hole, and it's plated inside that hole as well. And then it's plated all the way through. In the middle, it's hollow, and all the insides can be plated as well as the outside. So even if it was as thick as the Ethernet pins, which I showed in the video before, which yield about 2 to 3 grams if they're fully plated, these will have to yield double the amount because it's plated on the inside. They're very thin pins really, even as they're fat, they're completely hollow. So technically they're quite thin. We take them out. As you can see, I'm just cutting them into 2 pieces again, so the assay can get to it. I'll show you the next one when it's cut actually, so I can show you the middle. As you can see, got a hole in the middle and it's plated all the way in. There's the other side. Hopefully these will make up for the rubbish pins which are in there. Make it worth it. Personally, I wouldn't waste my time on pulling pins. If you've got nothing better to do, why not? But I'd just sell on somewhere like eBay. Spend the time collecting more from boards. If you only have a few boards and you don't deal with 100 kilos or more, then you might as well spend your time doing them. But up to you. If you enjoy having the gold, you might as well. Because all these videos I'll be showing you of mounting the 18 karat gold, like the Ethernet ones I got up here, I can show you. There's Ethernet ones. For some reason it's made like a silver dust at the bottom. It's like magnesium or something, I was told by someone. Something like that, I can't remember. It'll they said it would clean itself. By the end of the thing it'll be gone hopefully. But anyway, all these different gold pins I'll have them popped across the side, and once I'll just mount them maybe 1/10 of a gram at a time, and I'll have 30-40 by the end of this like series of videos I'm doing. Then I'll mount them all together, have a big piece, and maybe have it refined from there to pure 24 carat. Anyway, we've still got them to do. I did have 2 pots, I finished one of the pots and halfway through this one, so there's not too many left to do. I might as well come back when they're all done. I showed you a rough idea how to do them. I'll come back when I'm done with them all, and then we'll wash them and stick them in acid. I'll be back in a minute. I just thought I'd come back just to show you this connector. As you can see, there's pins poking out. The back bit come out and you can see all the pins. If it'll, anyway, as you can see, it's actually not got any plating whatsoever on it. Well, you can't see, it's all blurry, but it's not even got a little bit of plating. I've looked as close as I can, there's not even the slightest bit of plating ever. So not all of these connectors will even have pins. That's just going straight in the bin. We'll have gold plating, I mean. So bear that in mind if you're buying. That was the one where it has, not the one like that, it had like a hidden end on, like those ones. In fact, it looked like that. It probably is the same as this. But anyway, yeah, I'll come back once I've done all the pins. These are the pins you want to be looking for in them. Fully plated, and you can just tell by looking at them that they're amazing. And again, this one I'll be able to show you. You can see the inside of this one quite easily, and it's fully plated. All of its inside is fully plated. Oops, I stuck it in without cutting it. And then always remember, if you are sticking it in with them with copper chloride, definitely cut them in half, because you don't want to have the other ones files everywhere and then these being completely solid still. It will probably still get in through the bottom where you broke it to get off the board. It'll still get in, but it'll probably take 3 or 4 months, whereas the others will take a month. And you don't want foils floating around, well, some still hard for months. So you might as well just cut them in half. It takes a couple of seconds. Don't let them save up, then cut them in half. It's just going to take you forever then. Just as you're going along, just cut them in half like this. You won't notice a change. So this is all the pins I got. Loads of them. Mostly rubbish looking. There's a couple of good ones. We'll weigh them up and just see what we got. They're in a bit everywhere. So we got 98.76 grams of pins, almost 100 grams. Gold plated pins. All we do is pour it into the acids. All acids are used up. I filter a bit out, so I've got too much being used anyway. I filter a bit out and come back when I've got it ready. I'm just putting the just filtered this acid out of a refine I'm doing at the moment. This copper chloride. I had more than enough in there, so I was able to take a little bit. I filled it out and saved the gold anyway. So this is just plain copper chloride. The reason it's that colour is because it's just been in use. But anyway, got my gloves on. The because it's strong, almost fill up this copper fluoride, I can weaken it a bit, which will make it useful again by pouring a bit of just plain hydrochloric acid in. More than enough. As you see, it's a little bit greener now, but it won't get green unless it's left in the sunlight for a couple of days. But now we'll just place the pins in. I didn't clean them in the end, can't be bothered. Not necessary anyway. Drop them in. Always remember though to cut the fully plated pins. My last video when I done this part without any gloves, that's because it was in a pot where my hands weren't going anywhere near the acid. I obviously use the acid, use gloves to pour the acid and all that. If you're doing this part with it and your hands are going in the acid afterwards, make sure you've got thick gloves on, not just the thin ones, because these gold pins are sharp and you cut through them, through the thin ones. Gold pins are going everywhere. Take my gloves off so I can pick the bits off the floor. Like I said, my hands ain't going anywhere near the acid. That's the reason I'm not wearing the gloves now. If you see any's been spilt around the outside of it, obviously still wear gloves to pick stuff up or move it to another place. I can see that it's dry. Anyway, so that's that done. Get this back on. Always be careful when you sit your gloves back on, because obviously you'll get your the acid on your hand. You can. Or just wash your glove first. There we are. So you see all the pins down there? Part 3 will be in about a month's time. That's about how long it should take to get all those pins dissolved and we get the foils. And then the part 3 are just filter it out and mount into 18 karat gold bead. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll be bringing out more videos from the Keyte off different connectors. Anyway, thanks. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm close to 300 subscribers. Bye bye.